Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with Nassau Community College student Regina Halstead.
Hi, Mr. Bill. So I didn't realize professional sports teams like the New York Islanders have other programs specifically geared towards women, and today I'm excited because we are going to learn all about it.
That's right, Gina. Let's meet representatives from the New York Islanders Girls Elite Hockey Program and learn more from Alexis Moed, the president of the organization, along with Maddy Smith, one of the players. Alexis and Maddy, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you for having us.
This is going to be a fun interview because I want to learn about this. I know nothing about it. So tell us, how did the New York Islanders Girls Elite Hockey Program come about?
I started the program back in 2016 in conjunction with the Islanders at the Northwell Health Ice Center. Started off with 2 small teams, about 25 girls, and since then we've grown every year, and we're up over 100 girls right now.
How many girls? I honestly don't know. Is it just like a pro team, which I think is about 20, or how many girls typically would be on a hockey team?
Typically we roster about 15 to 17 per team.
So I guess they get more playing time then? And
there's a max of 20 on a roster. We generally don't go that high with the kids. It varies between age groups. So some of the younger teams will have a little bit more, and then as they get older, it trims down a little bit to about 15 per team.
And Alexis, were you yourself a hockey player?
I was, yes.
You were?
Yes.
So you've been there and done that, so you know what it's like?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Moed, you said that you were a hockey player. So can you tell us a little bit about your history with hockey as a player and as a coach?
Yeah, I played hockey on Long Island. I started a little bit late. I was 13 when I really got into it, and I was just playing locally. Back then, there weren't really any opportunities for girls, so I was on boys' teams. I eventually did move into girls' travel hockey, but I ended up leaving the island to do that, so I played in Connecticut. And I played NCAA Division I hockey for Boston College, and graduated and came home and had expected to find an improved situation for the girls on Long Island. In fact, I saw that things had taken a bit of a step back, and there really wasn't much for the girls here. The rest of the country, hockey in general for women, had made a lot of progress, but I felt that hadn't hit Long Island yet, and that's when my idea to start a all-girls program that focused on all of the things that I didn't have rolled into one program in one spot came about. And after a few years and a couple of renditions, finally found the great partnership with the Islanders and Northwell Health Ice Center, and that's when the program was born.
Alexis, we introduced you as the president of the organization, but are you the president, the coach, the general manager, the travel executive?
I'd say probably the founder first. And I do act as the president, so I run all aspects of the program. But I've always coached teams. Certain seasons I've coached 2 teams. This year I took a little bit of a step back from the bench coaching, but I am on the ice for pretty much all of their practices. And last season, I'm in my second season now as the general manager of the Connecticut Whale, which is the pro women's team in Connecticut. So that does take a lot of my time on the weekends.
Oh, so you're really hockey all the way. I mean, when you said Boston College, to me, as a sports fan, that's kind of in the elite hockey world. What is the tournament? The Beanpot, is it up there or something?
Beanpot. And
it's New England, so you got the cold weather. So that's where the real hockey players hang out.
That is the real hockey players.
So you're up with, I guess it would be like Alabama or Notre Dame football if we were talking that sport. This is the real background that you have in the sport.
Yeah, BC women's hockey is certainly a powerhouse, and the program's made tremendous progress since I've been there, and they have 2 fabulous coaches with Katie Crawley and Courtney Kennedy, and certainly has grown into one of the top women's programs in the country.
Did you just say I'm going to start it one day and put out messages to the high schools, or how did that come about?
No, it started off different degrees. I noticed that there was this lack of opportunity for the girls and lack of direction, and so I started it with some clinics and some spring hockey, and then it caught on, and a lot of the kids and the parents started to say, well, can't this be a full season team? And definitely went through a period of trying to find out how to do that and who to do it with. And I had already been working at the Islanders at the Ice Center, and Garth Snow was the Islanders general manager at the time, and came to me and asked about why there wasn't girls hockey in the building and what was going on. And I explained the landscape to him and a lot of the challenges that I had in trying to start a program. And he said, well, you have our full support. Go ahead. Just do whatever you feel you need to do. And that was back in 2016, and that was the first season of the program.
That's awesome. And really, that's not a long time. And it seems like you've taken it a long way already. And we have wonderful players like Maddy. And
Yep.
I'm sure the girls who participate are thrilled that this is available to them and they can enjoy the sports and not have to join a boys' team or a separate organization, something like that.
Yeah. Speaking of wonderful players like Maddy, I want to know, what made you interested in hockey?
In short, my father. He grew up playing when I was little. It was always on in the background. By little, I mean at 6 months old, I had a pair of itty-bitty hockey gloves, and my dad would yell, drop the gloves, and I'd shake them off, and we'd kind of wrestle as much as a 6-month-old could. And then at 9 months old, there's a picture of me holding this itty-bitty floor hockey stick. So after I started walking, he's like, okay, we're all going to learn how to skate, the whole family. And I really liked it. So figure skating is the next logical progression. But I was terrified of skating on one foot. So I was like, okay, this is not going to work. But I liked skating, so hockey it is.
Did you say at 6 months or 6 years?
6 months.
So you were learning to be a hockey fighter at 6 months?
Fighter is a relative term.
Yes, but
considering
you dropped the gloves. I heard, and
penalties.
in hockey language,
Yeah.
drop the gloves, I think usually means we're going to have a fight.
Yes.
Okay, so he was really training. He had you set for the future. He probably knew this was going to happen, that the team would get started and everything would get going.
Yeah.
What age are the other girls in the program? You said to me, I think you're a junior in high school.
Yes,
am I correct?
I am.
No, does it range from the much younger girls, or is it kind of a high school sport?
No, there's all different ages. I believe we have an 8U developmental team, if that's correct.
Yep, we have 8U
And that
all the
goes
way
all the way to
through
19.
up to 19U, and at 14U, we've had 2 teams at 14U, and it looks like based on our numbers, it'll continue to split at certain age groups.
So it seems like it's not only successful but growing.
Every year we've had growth.
This is getting more and more awesome.
Can you let us know where you guys play exactly? I believe it's Eisenhower Park, if I understand correctly, right?
Yes.
You guys don't play at the same at the Islanders' home stadium, which is UBS. Can you tell us a little bit about the facility? Because I've been able to visit myself. I know there, like you said, you guys are partnered with Northwell, and they have a kind of like PT facility there. The rink is really, really nice. But can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, the rink is great. It's 2 indoor sheets. There's an outdoor sheet. We have, like you said, the physical therapy upstairs. We have a daycare. We have a gym, which the girls use as part of their program. Once a week they have their off-ice training. And that's our home rink. We also utilize, I'd call it, say, our sister facility in Syosset, which is Islanders Ice Works, for certain practices. And home games are always played at Northwell, and then their away games, they're in a mid-Atlantic district, so they'll go as far south as Virginia and play all the way up to New England area.
I want parents to know, I'm thinking as you're talking about that, it all sounds so nice, and to be part of the Islanders, you know the conditions are going to be top-notch because obviously they're a pro team. But in case parents are worried, one of the first questions I asked Maddy was, are all those your real teeth? Because when we look at hockey players, and tell us the answer.
Yes, they're all real.
And they look real, and she has a very nice smile. And, of course, today, unlike many, many years ago, hockey players have the mask on, they're protected, and they do have their own real teeth. So if parents are worried, I'll relieve that for the parents who are out there. What else about the park there? Now, do you have to go out and seek sponsors? Because hockey is expensive. I'm sure there's traveling, there's equipment that has to be bought, there's officials that have to be paid for games, etc. So do you have to seek sponsors for this? And if so, if someone wants to be a sponsor, who do they get in contact with?
We do have a sponsorship deal in place with National Grid. Their contribution is scholarships to the players every season. But as far as the cost of the program, there is a tuition that the parents pay, and that will cover all of their ice time, refs, and equipment is purchased on their own. We certainly do provide some things through the program, and travel expenses is up to the families.
And if someone is hearing this, though, is there room for sponsors, whether it's either on the arena or on their uniform or just to be part of the team? If someone would like to sponsor it,
Yes.
lower office or something?
Yeah, we're always open to sponsorship. I think it's a great opportunity for any company to get involved because it's an investment in the players and their stories and how they're going to develop over the years. And there's a tremendous emphasis on women in sports and all that women get out of that, their power and their confidence, particularly at this age, where the girls, the teenage years, they struggle a little bit with their confidence. And so to feel that they are part of such a strong program that's so empowering, it really becomes an investment in themselves.
I'm just thinking, you say they struggle with their confidence, which we understand that. Maddy looks there so nice and sweet sitting here, and I'm sure when she puts on the skates, people are flying all over the ice, right?
As much as you can when one is little less than 100 pounds and 5'2".
There you go. Okay.
I want to remind you that you are listening to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Regina Halstead along with Bill Horan, and today we're learning about the New York Islanders Girls Elite Hockey Program. Our guest star, Alexis Moed, the president of the organization, along with Maddy Smith, one of the players. Now, I know you guys said that you're partnered with the Islanders. I want to know the relationship that you have with them. And the girls, are they able to meet the professional hockey players?
No, not exclusively through the program. The relationship we have with the Islanders is really just tremendous support from them. Every season they provide additional opportunity for the girls, whether it's getting to go to an Islander game or sometimes being featured on MSG, certain reward programs, whether it be a gift certificate to the pro shop, or just being highlighted in general through the Islanders media and all the reach that the Islanders have.
I was just thinking, as a fan of the Islanders, when I watch them, to me, and maybe other teams do this, but I think they're the only team that has two female announcers during the breaks in the game. Shannon, I forget her last name, and AJ.
Yeah, Shannon Hogan and AJ Milzacco. Yep,
yeah.
And through this relationship with the Islanders, the girls have had a lot of exposure to Shannon and AJ, and AJ having played in college and been on that first Olympic team that won gold. The girls have had a chance to get on the ice with AJ. She's been great with the program, Shannon as well, and that's just the type of benefit we get by being in this collaboration with the Islanders.
So they're really kind of in the forefront with getting the women into hockey and supporting that effort.
Yeah, I think the Islanders serve as a great example for the other NHL clubs as to what support of a women's program looks like. They've just been so enthusiastic over the years and supportive and always looking to increase the opportunity that we can provide to the girls.
It's great for Long Island, obviously great for the young ladies who are playing and the coaches and the other people who are part of the system.
Ms. Moed, you stated earlier that when you came back home after college, after playing, that you saw how not progressive the sport of hockey for girls specifically on the island progressed as much as other parts of the country. I imagine that programs like the one that you created changed the way people think about girls hockey on the island. And have other organizations followed your lead and kind of backed you guys on that advancement for women in hockey?
Yeah, I hope that this program has developed or further developed girls hockey on the island. I certainly see a lot more girls playing now, and I feel that that's directly related to the program that I've created. And I do see other clubs with tremendous women programs, the Junior Flyers, the Little Flyers, big competition for us. They've had a lot of growth. Up in New England, the Bruins are certainly supportive of girls hockey, and as far out as Dallas Stars Elite has a great program, and we've played teams that have had sponsorship from NHL clubs out in the West. Anaheim has a Lady Ducks program, and Colorado supports a program. So I really do think it's caught on all throughout the country, and women's hockey in general has grown. But I do attribute the success here with this program to the support that we've gotten from the Islanders.
Is there a lot of them, just thinking as you're answering that question, within New York State, I think we have something like 56 or 54 counties. Are there other programs within the state, that you could almost, if you want wanted to kind of set up a New York league? I'm thinking like 6 or 8 of them someplace as you go upstate.
There are definitely programs all throughout New York State. It's not as prolific as the Mid-Atlantic District, which is why we play, because the clubs are actually closer to us and there's more competition than heading up north through in the state. But this past weekend, Maddy's team was up in Buffalo playing in the state tournament. So certainly a lot of strong teams up in that area.
And Maddy, can you tell us a little bit about that, about how the experience was playing in a chip like that, and also just, as being as young as you are, not only getting to play a sport that you love, but also getting to travel and kind of take it all in as an experience?
Well, the state tournament was just amazing. That's the ultimate goal for a New York team, or really any team, make it to the state tournament. Just doing that itself is a huge accomplishment, because there's so many teams you have to play and best in order to even make it there. But just going up there, it was played at 2 main rinks, and they were both phenomenal facilities. I think one of them had like 4 sheets of ice, the other one had 2, and a bar, which my parents were happy about. But like just seeing in that one rink was the main hub. It's where they sell all the merchandise, and there's 1,000 games going on all at once, and everyone's there, and it's like, wow. The girls' game has grown to the point where you need an entire weekend just for 16U, 19U, 14U.
Maddy, do your classmates in high school, do they know about your secret life?
I'd say most of them do, but I'm more known as like the super nerd. I'm who you go to if you need homework.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think you would have this whole different life, which I would think people would be interested in. And in fact, tell our audience what you're heading for in college.
I'm hoping to pursue a degree in either neuroscience or neuropsychology.
So quite a difference from on the ice, where you're knocking people over and trying to put them in the hospital, and here you're going to help them out and cure all those problems that you caused them.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
As a player, what are some challenges that you would say that you face as far as being a girl and playing a very male-dominant sport?
Well, within this organization, I don't feel like I face many challenges, because we're surrounded by other girls, other females. So it's kind of a herd mentality. When we're in the rink, we're a team, so we're always hanging out together in the rink. If you want to go after one of us, you're going to go after all of us. So the guys' teams kind of leave us alone. But outside of hockey, I'll take private skating lessons in the mornings. And one time I was walking in. It's like 6 a.m., so no one's there but hockey players and maybe a couple figure skaters. And I have my bag on my shoulder and my sticks in my hand, and one of the dads of the other kids who was skating with me goes, "Figure skating's in the other rink, hon."
Ooh. So he was your first winning fight after you knocked him out, right? And those lessons from your grandfather or your father helped out?
Oh, yeah, clearly.
What is it you like most about the experience in doing this?
The biggest thing for me is just being able to be in the locker room, because you always got music pumping. It's all these jokes. It's really where you become friends and you become teammates. That's the biggest thing for me.
Does it happen? I mean, of course, we see the pro hockey on TV, and now it's calmed down a bit, but every once in a while people get a little over anxious and there's a scuffle, etc. Does that happen in the girls? I know you wear the face mask and you got a ton of equipment, but does that still happen in the girls' hockey games?
Of course it does. It happens no matter what.
And all those lessons from your early days are paying off now?
I'm not a big fighter. I'm the person that they put on the ice to kill all the penalties.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Gina?
I want to know some of the things. What have you learned most about playing on the for the elite program?
I've really learned that it's okay to be a girl and to like a male-dominated sport. Like, for a while, I was kind of like, okay, well, maybe I should just cut my hair short and try and be one of the boys. But with this program, I've learned that it's okay to paint your nails or put on makeup or wear dresses. It doesn't mean you're less of a hockey player.
I want to remind you that you are listening to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Regina Halstead, along with Bill Horan, and today we're learning about the New York Islanders Girls Elite Hockey Program. Our guest star, Alexis Moed, the president of the organization, along with Maddy Smith, one of the players. I understand you have to try out to make these teams, so you're looking for girls that already know how to ice skate already and have hockey experience. Or can amateurs try out and learn as they they go?
Yeah, we have a couple of different levels within the age groups. We also work well with the Northwell Health Ice Center House League, where that is where a lot of the developmental, it's co-ed, but we do have a strong presence of the girls, and they'll start off with a Hockey 101 program, and then as they progress, they'll move exclusively into the girls program. But particularly at the 8U level, we do consider it, even though it's a team, we do consider it to be developmental, and the focus is on improving their skills, skating, stick handling, passing, all the basics. It's really that fundamental program, and the skill set is important throughout all the levels. So there is a heavy emphasis on all of their skills, even when they get up to the oldest level.
Alexis, what are some, if there are new or innovative either techniques or programs that are coming or will be available shortly to girls on Long Island?
I think every year when I go to build the program, I build it per team. So I don't just take a formula that's worked in the past and apply it season to season. It really, each level, each team, the whole program is tailored to the needs of the players that particular season. And so we've incorporated a lot of different things throughout the years. We've had a nutrition program. We've had a sports psych program. They've always had their off-ice training. We focused, on different aspects based on the age of the players. So the younger ones are working on their agility, their flexibility, and just laying that groundwork for general athleticism. And the older players are working on their strength development through lifting and plyometric training specific to hockey. But like I said, every season it's tailored to what the players need, and as opportunity arises, we incorporate it into that season's offering.
So this is definitely not just playing hockey. I mean, this is much, much more, and you're going to need a neuroscientist someday. So, I mean, this is part of your future here. No, I mean, I'm very impressed with what they're doing. Now, Maddy, if someone is interested, what type of commitment? Is this a 12-month-a-year commitment, or is hockey, like we see in the pros, roughly October to maybe March, and then Stanley Cup stuff?
I'd say it's about from the beginning of September to possibly the beginning of March if you make it to the state tournament. But it's very intensive with the travel and with the commitment level because you have 2 to 3 practices a week where you have to get there probably an hour beforehand so you can put on all your stuff. And then you have 1 or 2 games a week, sometimes more if you're going on a tournament. So it's definitely not for someone that's very busy.
You know what I was just thinking, and I have to say, we really missed the boat, and our station director here. This kind of a program, we really should have sent Gina over there to go through a practice and give her a full workout with your team. And then she could come back and tell us about the experience and how much fun it was skating up and down that ice. What do you go, 30 miles an hour back and forth, and pucks flying at you and people trying to elbow you and hit you with a stick? What do you say, Gina?
I wouldn't even make it on the ice. I can't skate to save my life, and that's roller skating.
I'm trying to get you in trouble here. You see that, right?
Yeah, I can't do it. I can be goalie as long as I don't need the skates. You just set me there. You can push me over to the goal. I'll be good right there.
You sure you want people like Gina shooting that puck at you and hitting you all over the place as you're trying to fend them off?
Do y'all have extra pads? Like, can you stuff up on a lot of the equipment?
That's a good question. Yeah. Can you stuff in a pillowcase or a few extra things if we were to try it someday?
The equipment's definitely big enough for it.
This would be investigative reporting at its best, so we've got to think of that in the future.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bill.
See that?
I
bet you love I'm going to get hit in the back of the head.
Turn my mic off real quick.
I should turn my back to you at any time. So, go ahead. Anything you want to bring up?
Miss Alexis, I understand that you said earlier that you're involved with the Premier Hockey Federation and a team called the Connecticut Whale. I want to know, is that a separate league from the NHL, and does that team also have a relationship with the Girls Elite program?
It is separate. So the PHF is its own professional league for women. There's 7 teams in the league currently. And yes, the Whale definitely has a relationship with the Islanders program. With me being the general manager of the Whale, I certainly brought that opportunity and the exposure to the pro women back down to the kids at the Islanders, and they have a great relationship. The Islanders the girls have gone to a lot of their games and have supported them through social media, and that's all been reciprocated by the Whale, who also is looking to have a heavy role in developing the growth of girls hockey.
Maddy, if someone was interested or classmates, etc., what 30-second speech would you give them? Would you tell them, start at kindergarten? And maybe this is far too early or something, but I'm asking you, would they start that early, and is there a program for them? Or would you tell them wait till 8th grade and then come out and get intense into it?
Definitely start as young as possible, because the more experience you have, the better off you're going to be.
What would they be doing coming over there if when you say as young as possible, would they be playing at, let's say, grammar school levels, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, something? Is it that young?
Yes.
They really would?
I know some 5- and 6-year-olds who play.
Really? Oh, okay. And that's part of your program? They have a division for them?
Not my program specifically, but some of the girls that I've worked with in this program, we used to do a mentoring program. They were like 7, 8.
So if they're interested, the earlier the better, and no harm to get involved and start learning the skills, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I noticed on you guys' website that it says you're an organization by women for women. So I want to ask you both, what does that mean to you?
Well, it means that obviously the program was, I started the program. We certainly have male coaches that are involved, and we appreciate them, and they're great, and they're very supportive of the girls. But I would say that the organization and the direction of it is up to the players. It's their organization. They dictate what's needed and the direction and how I build things. And we have a strong female coaching presence of women that have played in college and have now come back to work with that next generation. And so it's really just about, empowering the girls and giving them that understanding that this is their organization.
Alexis, if someone's hearing this show and say, I'm really impressed, right? This is exactly what I'm looking for my daughter or my niece, etc. How do they get in touch, and who do they talk to, and what's the first step? Do they call you, email you?
Yeah, calling me, emailing me. We have, if it's not specifically through the Girls Elite program, which goes now as young as 8 and under, certainly Northwell Health Ice Center has learn to skate programs, Hockey 101, pre-hockey classes. We have the entire track. Like Maddy said, if they come in at kindergarten, we can bring them all the way from kindergarten up to ready for college.
And the practices and everything is at Northwell, and that's over in Eisenhower
Yes.
Park,
Mm-hmm.
Nassau County, so they're near all the major roads, and
Yes.
they can get involved. And can they get involved even, I don't know what you'd call the middle of the season or the end or the beginning for your operation, so can they get involved in the spring or the summer? Is that okay? Or
Yeah, we have a spring program, which is an offshoot of all of the programs at Northwell, but specifically the girls. We have the New York Metro program, which fills that spring-summer gap in the season, and so there's always something going on for the players.
This has been a learning experience for me. I really want to thank our guest today, Alexis Moed, the president of the New York Islanders Girls Elite Hockey Program, and Maddy Smith, one of the players. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to My Hometown at Nassau Community College. I'm Bill Horan, along with Gina Halstead. Thanks for listening to this week's special edition.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC at ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.